What is this?
Springsteen.
All right, 25 to the hour here in the Average Morning Program on the radio all over the country and on the Fox Business Network all over the world. Please welcome to the program now the Governor of New Jersey, Christie. Good morning, Governor Christie.
Good morning, Don.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I have cancer, Governor.
Well, I know that, Don, but I mean, beside that.
I'm doing great, actually. So
you look good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So this victory and pension and benefits cuts in New Jersey, tell me about that.
Well, what we did, Don, is, we've got a $54 billion underfunding in our pension system, $54 billion, $67 billion underfunded in our health insurance system, and it just had to stop. And so, we got together, we worked really hard. I put out a plan in September, worked with the Democrats, and got some courageous Democrats to come with me and do this. I'm going to sign the bill tomorrow, and it's going to save taxpayers in New Jersey $132 billion over the next 30 years, and it's going to make those pension systems solvent so the people who earn the pensions can get them.
So a specific public service employee, how does it, just an individual, what's the individual impact on, say, one person?
Well, it depends. On the health insurance side, Don, they now are going to have to pay a percentage of the premium of their health insurance. Prior to that, they were just paying 1.5% of their salary, which was an extraordinarily small amount for the kind of coverage folks were getting. So they're going to have to pay a percentage of the premium, but it's a sliding scale. The less you make, the less you pay. And then on the pension side, everyone's going to have to pay a bit more into their pensions, and there's not going to be any cost of living adjustments to the pensions until the funds get solvent, which will be different times for different funds. But there's going to be some sacrifices going to have to be made by everybody.
But does it dramatically change the lifestyle of, say, a specific public service employee? Or
it should.
I know you just said it depends on so on, but.
It shouldn't, Don. It shouldn't, because also we're phasing it in over 4 years. And so it will give people 4 years to ease into the full impact of the new health insurance plan. And also we're easing in at least some of the pension increases. So it should give them time to adjust to it.
I was somebody like Bernie or somebody was planning to cut, or maybe Connell, a cut of Ann. I think it was Bernie planning to cut of Ann Coulter, and she was on with somebody on the Fox Business Network. We're talking about you. Apparently, she's all enamored of you, which, well, we all are, Governor.
Oh, God bless you.
And
great man, Don. A great man.
Calm down, Governor. So she said she didn't think you could get reelected in New Jersey if the economy is what it is. And of course, this is all about trying to get you to run for president. But let's address the first issue. If the economy is like it is now, it's going to be tough, isn't it?
Listen, as a Republican in New Jersey, it's always tough. But a year and a half ago, I got dragged across the finish line by the kingmaker of all kingmakers, Don Imus.
Yeah.
And I expect that you are going to be with me again if I run in 2013, Don. You're not going to jump ship, are you?
Well, why would you even suggest that, Governor?
Well, listen, because I've watched you for a long time, Don. I just want to, I want to make sure, I mean, there's a lot on the line here, babe. It's my career. You know what I'm saying?
You know what was interesting about that incident was not. No, that's very nice of you, but no credit to me. It was that I think Corzine was a creep, by the way.
I agree.
Other people were making fun. Pardon me?
I agree.
Yeah, we're making fun of you because you're fat. So you look a little thinner now, and you were able to use the program and others, but initially this program, to be self-effacing about all of that, and that's what did it. And that was more of what you were talking about yesterday or whenever it was on Meet the Press, more of that straight talk, and that's what did it for you, not me. So.
Well, listen, you gave me the forum to do it, and I could tell you, my wife and I were out campaigning when I made that call to you that morning. We're in a hotel down in South Jersey, and all she heard was my end of the conversation, and she was cringing over what I was saying. And I said, no, you got to hear both ends. It's going well. It's going well. And then as it went across the country, as your conversations with politicians tend to do, I think it was an enormous help to me. And that's why I think Ann might be wrong, Don. I think folks in New Jersey know that I inherited a mess and that I'm doing the best I can. I'm not sugarcoating it for them. And I think if I show that we're making progress, we'll be just fine.
20 minutes till the hour. Governor Christie of New Jersey. The other day you were talking to a woman you were on some television program, and you do what I do all the time, and that is you get, I'm not saying you were, but I'll talk about myself, and you can relate to that perhaps or perhaps not. But I'll be talking to somebody and I'm irritable for whatever reason, and I snap at them, and then later I feel bad about it. So this woman asked you about why you didn't send your kids to public school, and man, you went off on her there initially, didn't you?
Well, I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think you do most of the time either. I think you're completely full of it, by the way. There's no way you feel bad about it. You love it. You love it when you get one of these people. And you listen, I know when you react most of the time. It's when you get some nitwit who is saying something that you know is baloney, and you just have had enough, and you're going to tell them, no, I know this is bull, and here's why. And what I did that night was, and I think, you know, you and Deidre probably feel the same way. Mary Pat and I make the decisions about where our children go to school and why we think it's important for them, in our case, to go to parochial school. That's our decisions. And those are not open to public scrutiny. That's about my children. And so you want to start talking about my children, that's the kind of reaction you're going to get. That's not open to the public. Everything else in my life is. My children and my parenting decisions, mine and Mary Pat's regarding our children, are not open for public scrutiny and discussion, at least not with me.
No, you know, you are right about that. Like I had Chris Wallace on the other morning, and I like a lot, a real lot, an awful lot, or whatever. And he said something I didn't agree with, and I snapped on him, but you're right about that. I guess what I feel bad about is when I say mean stuff, which I don't do too much anymore. Well, I say mean stuff to people who don't deserve it, but you're right, that wasn't the case where she didn't deserve it, so never mind. So.
Yeah, well, listen, you know what? And there are times when I snap too when I shouldn't, and I do feel bad at those times. But with this woman, what was that?
Blood sugar gets low.
Yeah, well, listen, this gal, I don't feel bad about her.
Okay. 18 till they are Clemons, not only one of the great sidemen in the history of rock and roll, but of course Bruce's guy.
Yep. And
you've been to 130 of those concerts.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts on poor Clarence dying?
Well, you know, my immediate reaction, I was out with my family on Saturday night when I heard the news, and my immediate reaction was that my youth is finally over. You know, whenever I'd go to one of those concerts, one of the reasons I went, we talked about this before, why I've gone to so many, is because when I would look up at that stage, it would make me feel 16, 17, 18 years old again, watching Bruce and Clarence, and they were the real interaction in the band. And I think now, I know Bruce will go out and tour again, and I'll go to the shows, but it'll be different. And Clarence was a big personality, an incredible talent, and he's going to be sorely, sorely missed because he helped to humanize Springsteen a bit.
As you said, great talent, great player, great sax player.
Oh, yeah. And I loved him with Lady Gaga. I mean, how great is it that Clarence, the last big thing he did was not with Springsteen, but was with Lady Gaga. That's something else.
And one of his great influences was one of the great sax players ever, King Curtis.
Yep.
So, played on all his Coaster records and all that.
He's tremendous.
17 till they are. Here we're talking with Governor Chris Christie. Speaking of people asking about personal stuff, you've said you're not going to run for president, but if you were to run and they shined a hot light on you, is there anything they'd find that would preclude you from running for president?
All right. You know what, Don?
What?
You're the one guy I can share this with.
Yeah.
I'm fat.
Yeah.
They're going to find that they put the bright light on me, I'm going to sweat. That's what's going to happen.
You know, most people in this country are fat. So.
Well, that's why I think I'd probably have a pretty good shot. But
yeah.
What they'd find out is that when the real hot light comes on me, I sweat.
Well, are you going to run?
No.
So now this is because there's so much talk about it.
Yeah,
I mean, every moron, including me, asks you about it. So there's just no way you're going to run.
Well, listen, Don, first off, let me stop you. You are not every moron. Let's start with that. Okay? But secondly, no, I'm not going to run. I don't want to run. I don't feel like I'm ready to run. I like the way my life is now. I like being governor. I like my family life the way it is. And if you run for president, all that changes. And I just don't want to do it.
They passed the Gay Marriage Act, and the New York governor is going to sign it 30 days. Do you support gay marriage?
I don't.
Why don't you?
Because I believe marriage is between one man and one woman. It's a special institution. That's the way it should stay. I support civil unions and making them as strong as we can so that same-sex couples can have all those legal rights. But I'm just a guy who thinks marriage should be between a man and a woman, Don.
The president spoke the other day about Afghanistan and what pulling some troops out of there, though didn't satisfy neither the right nor the left. What did you think he should have said, or did he say what he should have said?
You know what? I said this yesterday on Meet the Press. I don't know enough, Don, about...
I, by the way, hate Meet the Press, and mentioning it's not helping your case here. But
you hate it?
Yeah, I hate him.
Why?
Because Gregory's a backstabbing worm. Used to be a friend of mine. He's a skunk. And NBC's corrupt, and so I hit, you know, so.
Let me ask you a question. Is this one of those moments where you're going to like look back and say, geez, I wish I hadn't said that?
No, absolutely not. No.
So you're having a Gale moment, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, that's fine, and I respect that. But what I said yesterday was I don't know enough, and I'm not briefed enough on Afghanistan to second-guess the President of the United States. He knows a heck of a lot more about it than I do. And so my sense, though, Don, is that we shouldn't be in there nation-building. That's just my gut instinct on it. But as for the rest of it, I shouldn't really be talking about it because I don't know enough about it. And I could make up an answer, but I don't do that stuff.
Well, I don't know much about it either, but, I mean, I know enough to know be there.
Well, that's your opinion. That's fine.
Oh.
I'm okay with that.
I'm certainly not as informed as you are, so.
But don't count on that.
So why are you going to Iowa? Back to that for a second.
I'm going to Iowa because Governor Branstad asked me to come to speak about education reform, and I care deeply about education reform and really believe it needs to happen in the country. So he asked me to come, so I'm going.
Don't run now because you already said you wouldn't. So.
No, listen, I know that if I decided to run now, you would crucify me. You would pay every bit where I said I wasn't running and call me a typical lion weasel politician, wouldn't you?
Would we, Bernie?
In a heartbeat.
Yeah, see? I know that.
I don't know whether I would or not.
I think you would. You would.
know?
Come on. I've been listening to you for 30 years. Of course you would. You'd kill me.
All right, man.
You'd
nice
kill
to see
me,
you.
Don. Don, and hopefully you're feeling well, and next time I come in, we can be making that eye contact that you and I like to do so much.
Yeah. Let's not get all gay on me here, Governor.
Oh, hey, oh.
Governor Chris Christie here in the Imus Morning Program. Thanks, Governor.
Hey, Don,
13
thank
minutes
you.
now till the hour. Charles Rangel's coming up.